You are listening to the Imaginarium of Wonderful Weirdness. Yes, indeed you are, on the channel sponsored by Salisbury Hospice Charity and supported by League of Friends Radio Oddstock. Okay, time to pick up on the conversation with Creature Rock, that's aka Michael Scott Parker. And in this instance, we were talking about the influence that grandfather had had on a musical upbringing. And his little extract of a side of a 78 that Michael Scott Parker's granddad did cut. Now, this is called He's Mine, I Am His.
God's amazing grace sent down from heaven, rescued me from sin and from shame, opened up my eyes and brought salvation. Now I'm His, praise His holy name. Now I know that He is mine, and I'm His forever. He is leading me along life's way.
The images on the back of the album are me and my cousin sitting naked at the at my grandfather's pianos when we were about 4 years old. That was his bedroom. He had two pianos. He had three pianos on one wall and organ and a grand piano in the house. So I was always, those were my that's where I spent all my time.
Yeah, you've got quite a musical background, haven't you? Hence the fact that you are keyboard player, wind instrument player, guitarist as well. I mean, you cover all the points, really.
Yeah, well, my grandfather was a conductor and he was a music teacher. And when I was young, I'd go and visit him and I'd pass out music to his students. And I think at that age, I was like a sponge, and I just passing out the music and going, oh, this is the woodwinds and here's the brass section, and it just sort of, and watching him and how he would arrange the music, it just kind of, it took to me. And so I ended up playing saxophone in a band, and I continued to play until I immigrated here. I was playing in a brass band in Austin and played in brass bands in New Orleans, and walked on stilts with gigantic, Mardi Gras headdress, playing saxophone, and I brought my stilts to England. So.
Well, we do have the odd carnival around here. There'll be opportunities for you to use those stilts, don't you worry. Yes, I should point out that actually Michael Scott Parker and I were talking before the outbreak of COVID-19, otherwise known as the coronavirus. Anyway, let me spin a track from the Michael Scott Parker album Naked, which features some of her saxophone playing. This is called Renegade.
When I was 17, I was a wild child with a renegade cowboy dream. Well, I fell in love with a cowboy, and I saved the day that I murdered the book. The one that said that alter egos are fictitious trash, and I'm supposed to be reading non-fictitious paperback. Oh, renegade. Oh, renegade. Oh, renegade. Cowboy dream. Well, I can write a tune about being an adorer of a ready-made horror, the door that would grab my cowboy lover. But what would my uncle say? 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 What would my uncle say about choosing this identity, even if just for a day? spectacular attire. Well, I look through the paper, just needing a face to cut out and paste onto my picture. Ooh, the idea, my image of grace. Been trained to feel shame about being a queen. Oh, in my very, very seductive renegade.
Yes, that track was Renegade, track from Naked, an album put out by Michael Scott Parker. That precedes the release Creature Rock, which an album I've been playing tracks from quite a bit, but we've also had some brand new music, which we were hoping to follow through as Michael Scott Parker went through this year. Some of that on hold, of course, because of the coronavirus we've talked about. Anyway, Creature Rock is now very much a Salisbury-based musician. Well, let's hear from another couple of bands who are pretty local. This one come from Luggershall, actually, just up the road between here and Andover, and they're called One Last Thrill. They're working on a new album, which we hope to be hearing something of soon. So I'm going to play their latest single, which was put out last year. This is called Empires Fall.